104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. We head down to 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. Our man Shan, Sharif, Sean and RJ in the morning. Sean, first things first, I know that you guys have Jerry Jones on. I know that you have most of the players through. A lot of talk about Tony Romo, when he should be in a playoff game. Is there a scenario in which you pull Dak Prescott?
Oh, I don't even really want to go here. I know that this is, golden sports talk radio, but as far as I was concerned, Romo, the only chance for Tony to come in was after Dak struggled a little bit against the Giants and then against the Vikings. But to me, he put all that to bed when he came out against Tampa Bay and then against Detroit. And that kept Tony 6 feet under. But then we had a local columnist who came on our show and said, nope, if they're down 10 in the second half, then Jason Garrett owes it to everyone to play Tony Romo. And I thought that was ludicrous. It's insane. We told him that to his face, this columnist. And, 10 points, that's stupid. Dak Prescott in the fourth quarter, go look at what he has done, especially compared to Aaron Rodgers. But you have a lot of Cowboy fans who want to win with Romo. They're still married to number 9, so I decided to compromise. If they're down 17, not 13, not 14, if they're down 17 in the second half, Dak has looked atrocious. He's thrown 2 or more interceptions that were his fault. Bad throws, not tip passes or anything fluky. Then I'll compromise, and you can bring Tony in. But otherwise, no, I'm not going to Tony Romo quickly. It's Dak's team. There's nothing that guarantees that Romo, just because he had one nice series against Philadelphia, would come in and drop 17 or 20 points on anyone. So I'm sticking with Dak.
You're right there in Texas. What's the percentage of fans and callers you're hearing that want to see Tony Romo? Is it 30%? Is it 20%? Where's that number at?
I'd probably go 20, 25, which I'm really surprised at. But you have people, how can you split a fan base? A quarterback controversy. And you still have people that are getting Romo jerseys for Christmas, which I said was a bad, cheap gift because we know that they're discounted and basically given away off the racks, and they want to win their way versus just the Cowboys winning overall. 13-3, doesn't matter. Tony's still the better quarterback. Let's get the Hallmark ending and have Romo ride into the sunset with some type of Super Bowl victory in Houston, which, we'll be at with you guys. But I'd say about 15-20%. Still going with Tony Romo to come in if they're struggling a little bit, which I think is absurd.
Sean Sharif from 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. So, Sean, where do you think Romo ends up? I know you guys have got to have some thoughts on that.
Well, a lot of people were looking at Denver. I think John Elway's a little bit too smart for that, not to give up a first-round pick because, I think if you guarantee me that Romo could stay healthy, I put him on a Super Bowl contender like the Broncos, like Arizona, like Houston, and I would love their chances. So I'm looking at those. I'm looking at those places, and I'm also looking at a team kind of like the New York Jets that have drafted like 17 quarterbacks over the past few years. None of them can play. I'm not selling the Jets roster like everyone else is. I remember what they did last year. If you keep Brandon Marshall and Decker, if you have Matt Forte, you still have some defensive line pieces up front. You figure they put Revis out the pasture and move him to safety. My sleeper wild card team will be the New York Jets, but a lot of people are looking at Houston and the Broncos. And real quick, Jerry Jones, some people believe, has this fantasy that Tony can be talked into staying here by taking a pay cut as the backup, and that way Jerry can win another negotiation and have the best QB situation in the league.
Well, 104.5 The Team, your home for Jets football. Everybody got real excited about what you just said.
That's absolutely. Sean Sharif just became the most popular person here in the Capital Region with Jets fans.
Would they be excited? What round pick would each of you guys give up for Tony?
See, I'm in the 2-3 range. I'm not in the ones.
I'm with 3-2.
But we can also send Sheldon Richardson over there too with that pick.
I really thought before the Philly game, the maximum would be a third because he can't stay healthy. But I think that we are so reactionary and so emotional, and that includes NFL GMs, that one series will excite people enough to maybe even offer a 1 and most definitely a 2. So I wouldn't rule that out just because of how emotional people get over such a small sample size.
Right.
Let's get into this matchup this weekend now. Packers, Cowboys, and the Packers is the draw, but New York Giants fans wondered what they could do against the Dallas Cowboys again. Are Cowboys fans happy, and is this the better matchup for Dallas this weekend against Green Bay?
Oh, the Giants. Well, all they can do is be left to wonder and clean up their airplane that they destroyed and get some plaster for the wall at Lambeau Field and get Odell Beckham a shrink and a psychologist. We were pretty split over who would be the better matchup. Like, you don't want to face the better player, the best quarterback right now playing, who's red hot, and Aaron Rodgers. But the New York Giants obviously had the Cowboys number. They were the Cowboys' kryptonite. I barely preferred the Giants because I still think you could outscore them. And you know, how likely is it that you face a team 3 times? But the Cowboy fan that you beat a team 3 times. But Cowboy fans were looking at revenge in both games. Revenge on the Giants and then revenge on the Packers for the Dez catch, non-catch. But I think we barely lean towards facing the Giants just because Aaron Rodgers in perfect conditions. I mean, look what he did against the Giants defense at Lambeau, freezing Lambeau, with Jordy Nelson, still lit them up for 4 touchdowns. What could Aaron Rodgers do in a picture-perfect AT&T Stadium with the doors and the roof closed on turf against, you know, at best an above-average Cowboys defense? That's why I barely lean towards the Giants.
Shan Sharif with us, 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. So you get Aaron Rodgers. You brought up that defense. I mean, overachieving is definitely a phrase I would use for him. Can they shut down Aaron Rodgers?
Shut down? No. We were putting up yesterday. What's the magic point total for the Cowboys to win?
I like that.
And the majority of people have it in the 30s, 30, 31, 33, 34. They dropped a ton of points on Green Bay without Dez Bryant at Lambeau Field, but I think the prevailing thought is you're going to need to score 30 points in this game against Rodgers, even though Jordy Nelson could be playing with broken ribs or not even playing at all. But no, hell no, by no means can they shut down Aaron Rodgers. The best chance to do it, of course, is the old school pounded at him ball control offense with Zeke and behind this offensive line, and they exposed the Pack. I remember earlier in the year the Packers had the number 1 defense in the league, and they weren't giving up any rush yards, and then the Cowboys went in and blew that up. So they have to keep Aaron Rodgers off the field with Zeke on the offensive line. But no, I personally, even though they proved me wrong this year, I would not trust the Cowboys defense to hold Aaron Rodgers to 21 or 20, 21 points.
You talk to Jerry Jones every week. What's Jerry feeling right now? Is he excited? Is he nervous? Is he confident? What's the vibe you're getting from him?
He's scared. He's nervous. He keeps referencing 2007 with that loss against the Giants. Jerry, with his nice little country saying, said, "I'm nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs, and I'm not able to get any sleep at night." And I've rewatched that Giants game 20 to 25 times. He's actually said that on our airwaves. So I think he's nervously excited, but I would stress nervous over excited for Jerry.
Shan Sharif, 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. So what I love about you, man, is you're realistic. So do you realistically believe this game is a win for the Cowboys, and what do you think the point will end up being?
Well, I think that this is like a 28-27, 30-26 game. Green Bay could definitely win. We brought up this question. If you lose to the Packers, is it a disappointing season? For me, no, because we're only talking about a 4-point spread. Vegas, Bovada sent us the numbers today that the overwhelming majority of the public is betting on Green Bay plus the 4 points. But I just don't believe that the Green Bay Packers defense is good enough. I think them being completely one-dimensional will hurt them because Ty Montgomery's been better than Eddie Lacy, but he's a little bit banged up. I still don't have any faith in their running game, and I just think the Cowboys as a team overall, with Dez this time, rested a full roster in terms of health. I just think that beats kind of a one-man show, which is how I view Green Bay.
Shan, when we're down there in Houston, beers are on Goz.
Hey, wait a second. Of course they are. For Sean they are. Of course they are.
No, y'all got a condo. Y'all got a little party house. So yeah, we're gonna turn that into MTV Cribs, baby. It's on real world Albany style.
I love it, man. Yeah, we're Airbnb-ing it. So we'll hit you off with a key fob or whatever the hell it is they're giving us.
You know that we look for people to party with, and we know you guys can party, so it's gonna be fun.
There's so much of our Super Bowl trips I don't remember, thanks to you guys at 105.3 The Fan.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully the Cowboys are there.